Alright, guys. It is Sunday, September 25th, 2022 at 6:47 p.m. Alright, let's begin by taking a look at dailyverses.net verse of the day. It says, "Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid." Proverbs 12:1. Alright, let's take a look quickly here at satellite images from Ian. This is Ian. This is the official Tropical Tidbits Ian satellite image. You see Jamaica here, covered entirely by Ian. Alright, let's take a look at the next image. This is Ian, a larger scope of the Atlantic wide. You could see Cuba starting to get the rain from Ian, and you could even see some storm systems popping up in Florida already from the clouds reaching Florida from Ian. That's how wide the storm is. It's pretty much causing some pop-up clouds over Florida, parts of the Bahamas, and already parts of Cuba. Alright, let's take a look at another satellite image. You can see it better. Cuba getting covered by Ian there. The rain clouds happening already, so please make sure if you live in Cuba and in Jamaica to be prepared for possible mudslides or rock slides due to a lot of rain coming in your area. So please be prepared. Alright. Alright, this is a better image of the entirety of Ian. I think this is the image they should use for Tropical Tidbits instead of just the zoomed in Jamaica version. They should have the whole cloud system. And look, you see here parts of Florida, Central Florida, already getting clouds from. Also the Keys of Florida getting some rainstorms heading over to the Keys area, and parts of the Bahamas as well. Alright, so Cuba already covered in rain clouds, parts of the Dominican Republic as well, and some even are reaching the part of Puerto Rico from this whole system just being so large and just expanding outward. Alright, let's take a look at the National Hurricane Center's track of the storm. Okay, so the National Hurricane Center has it going around the western coast of Cuba and then going around and then going into Florida. And you see now the cone probability here covering parts of Georgia and South Carolina. Alright, so hurricane, then major hurricane, then hurricane again, then storm once it's inland. Alright, so they have it going around the western part of Cuba. Here's my issue. Let me see if I can bring one up. Okay, here's my issue. They have it going around the western part of Cuba. It's looking like it's going over Cuba right now. Parts of the northern and central parts of Cuba. But maybe they're talking about the center of low pressure going around the Cuban coast and then up. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but it is quite large. So it could somehow, it's already covered all parts of Cuba. It's already, the whole island is covered in rain. So who knows if it will go right above it, straight north, or if it's actually going to go across to the western edge and then around Cuba. So who knows? Let's take a look at the map again. They have it going around the western edge of Cuba and then going around to Florida. Alright guys, so let's see what happens. Alright, so we have Ian with 45 mile per hour maximum sustained winds at 40 knots. Minimum central pressure of 1,003 millibars, located at 16.2 north, 80.3 west. Movement west-northwest at 10 knots or 12 miles an hour. Then we have Gaston, Tropical Storm Gaston out in the Atlantic. Maximum sustained winds of 45 miles an hour, minimum central pressure of 1,000 millibars, located at 39.1 north and 37.5 west. Movement west at 9 knots or 10 miles an hour. Then we have Disturbance 1 with 30% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. An area of low pressure located several hundred miles west of the Cabo Verde Islands continues to produce disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity despite the proximity to near dry air. Upper level winds appear to be generally conductive and could support some gradual development through the later portion of this week as the system moves slowly northward. So, formation chance through 48 hours, low 20%. Formation chance 5 days, low at 30%. Alright, so that's what's happening in the Atlantic. Alright, now let's take a look at the tracks. This is the tracks that has it going over the western part of Cuba, the center low system going over the western part of Cuba, but the rain is going to be wrapping all over this. This whole region is going to be affected, covered in rain. It's not just going to be the little track here. It's going to be the whole region covered in rain. So be prepared. Get everything you need for the storm. Alright. Next, we have protests, drafting mistakes, and an exodus. Putin's mobilization off to a chaotic start. Alright, so Russia's partial mobilization for its war in Ukraine is off to a chaotic start. Let me close the advertisements and go up. Okay, so it says Putin's mobilization is off to a chaotic start amid protests, drafting mistakes, and an exodus of citizens fleeing Russia, as the Kremlin tightens rules around evading military orders. Some residents in Russia were considered by mistake or conscripted by mistake, despite not being eligible for mobilization, such as fathers of underage children, according to a local leader. All who were mobilized by mistake must be returned back. This work has already begun, the Republic said in a Telegram post, following a meeting on the presidential decree of partial mobilization. Two senior lawmakers in Russia acknowledged the issues on Sunday, saying the mobilization should be carried out in accordance with the law, and lamenting reports of erroneous incidents of mobilizing citizens. Such extremes are absolutely unacceptable, and in my opinion, the harsh reaction we are seeing in society is deserved, Valentina Matviyenko, the Speaker of Russia's Federation Council, said in a post on Telegram. In a direct address to Russia's regional governors, Matviyenko said they were fully responsible for carrying out mobilization campaigns in full and absolute compliance with the announced criteria. Vladislav Volodin, the chairman of the State Duma, Russia's lower house parliament, echoed Matviyenko's calls for due diligence, adding, "If a mistake is made, it must be corrected." Meanwhile, videos circulating on Russia's social media appear to reveal the tensions, the sadness, and the confusions that the draft is causing, which began after a Wednesday announcement, which has sparked with scenes of families saying emotional goodbyes and other recruits arguing about being called up. On video from Friday appears to show police and National Guard members engage in scuffles with the crowd as drafted men board a bus in the region of Russia, Siberia. Russia President Vladimir Putin on Wednesday significantly raised the stakes of his assault on Ukraine for ordinary Russians with the announcement of an immediate partial mobilization in a bid to reinforce his faltering invasion following Ukraine gains. The mobilization would only affect Russians with previous military experience, according to Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, who said 300,000 reservists will be called up. However, the decree itself gives much broader terms, sowing fears amongst Russians of a wider draft in the future. So activist groups such as Free Buryatia Foundation have said ethnic minorities in Russia are being disproportionately mobilized. CNN has geolocated videos of some of these men being mobilized in Russia's Far East region. Resistance will grow. The mobilization announcement sparked anti-war demonstrators across the country, which were swiftly cracked down by the police. At least 1,472 protesters have been detained in dozens of cities across Russia as of Saturday, according to an independent protest monitoring group. It's also sparked an exodus from Russia as military-age men flee the country rather than risk being conscripted. with video footage showing lines of traffic at land border crossings into several neighboring countries and surging airfares and sold out flights in recent days. So please pray for Russia. Please pray for the people that don't want to be drafted into this military. It is quite disheartening and heartbreaking that Putin basically just wants not only 300,000 people being called for the draft, but also possibly a million. So that's pretty heartbreaking. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news, and God bless you guys.